So this time, this is my second or third property I'm looking at. This is the second time I've looked at the property and all the comps. The first time I looked at all the comps first and then the actual subject property. This time I did the reverse. I started at the subject property, and my idea was to look at the comps and say, okay, so when I'm taking my notes for each one, say, what do I have to do to the subject property to make it look like this? So that way when I go back, I can look at the rents of the comp and be like, okay, it's going to cost me, estimate whatever to make it to this property, and I'll be able to raise the rent by this many dollars per square foot. So that's what I did. Went to the property. So this is a 292 unit deal. It's very, very, very close to the University of Southern Florida, less than a mile away.
Charlie Strong.
Yeah, and it actually used to be. Wait, what did you say, Charlie Strong? What is that?
Yeah. I knew you said yeah, but you didn't know what I said. The football coach for the Bulls.
Okay. And so the property itself is very interesting because it used to be 3 separate apartments, and then a company bought them all up and then kind of made them look the exact same. So there's kind of 3 of everything. So there's 3 pools. There's 3 like dog park areas.
3 pools for 300 units.
Yeah, because it used to be 3 different properties. So each property had its own pool.
Okay, right.
So that was one thing that was interesting, and it's going to make it a little bit more of a costly on an ongoing basis, and to updating 1 pool, you have to update 3 pools.
Well, you wouldn't keep all 3, right?
Yeah, we get rid of at least 1.
Yeah.
And so the current owners had initiated a value add of 10% of the units, and they did premium upgrades. So they did like granite countertops, new floors, new vanities in the bathroom. So I mean, very nice looking units. But the problem is that the market itself is pretty low income. So the median income in the market is $29,000.
Is it walking distance to campus?
So there's actually a leasing consultant that was there, and I mean it's technically within walking distance, but the crime rate is so high that I don't think many people are walking that far into this market.
I didn't know that. What's the town that University of South Florida is in?
So it's near Temple. I think it's in Temple Terrace.
Temple Terrace. Okay.
So what happened was is you drive up. So you're driving to the property from where we live, and you drive by the campus. The campus is obviously very, very nice. And then and then on the left side there's pretty nice retail. But then you continue on, and then once you get to the end of campus, like that next road over gets like is not a good area at all. And the further you go, the worse it gets. And so the subject property is right when you enter this kind of bad area, and then all the comps were further in. And so when we first looked at the subject property, like, oh, this is a really nice looking property. The area is a little bit sketchy, but I mean, when we drove in, there was new development apartments. There's a new apartment. I thought it was new, but I guess they just did a bunch of upgrades. I guess a corner, like on the corner. But then all the comps were further in, and it was like super uncomfortable driving them, just because of the area. But just because of the area, the types of people that are walking around, and so that was something that was very concerning. And that, combined with the median income, makes us concerned about how high we can actually raise the rents. And so that was one kind of main concern. Another concern we had is we know how much they want to sell it for, which it doesn't. And I know that it's not what we're going to base our purchase price on. We just have an understanding of, okay, we need to be close to this number for them to entertain the offer. But it looks like they based the price off of
fully renovated.
Yeah, well, a fully renovated building. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the sales comps that they have were all properties they looked at, and they're all done already. Yeah. I was confused, and so the seller's expecting about $80,000 per door, but that's again based off of the property being upgraded already. So
which you would have to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
then the exteriors, and so the market leader is at $1.35 per square foot in rent, and the subject property is at $1.11 per square foot. But for this market leader, like the exteriors were in like perfect shape. Whereas for this property, there was a lot going on. It seemed like almost everything needed to be addressed in some form or fashion. I mean, the fence around the entire property need to be replaced, which is, going to be a pretty hefty expense. You have to remove one of the pools. It's one of those garden style properties that have the two stories, and it's got the doors up front, and so you kind of walk up the stairs on the outside to get up to the second floor, and there's there's railings going across, and all of those are in horrible shape and need to be replaced. Half the roofs need to be replaced. Over 75% of the HVAC would need to be replaced. You need to do all new landscaping. You need to rebrand the property. So there's a lot going on, and if they're trying to sell it at if they're trying to sell it at a price that's based off of all that work being done, it's just going to be impossible for the numbers to make sense.